Let's get right into it. Number 12. Panic freeze mode. Picture this. You're hiking, you hear a twig snap behind you, and instead of sprinting like an Olympic champion or throwing hands like a medieval knight, your body decides the best plan is to become a human statue. You just stand there, heart hammering, eyes wide, doing the biological equivalent of hitting pause. This is the infamous freeze response, part of the good old fight or flight system. Except it's more like fight, flight, or accidentally audition for a mannequin competition. The freeze instinct comes from ancient survival math. Back in the predator days, not moving sometimes meant the lion overlooked you. And sure, that worked if the predator was vision-based, like a T-Rex or a cat. But in modern life? Freezing just makes you look like you're buffering in real life. If a car swerves toward you, standing still isn't exactly a high IQ move. Your nervous system does this because your amygdala, the fear-processing part of your brain, slams the panic button before logic can even log in. Think of it like a smoke alarm that not only screams but also cuts the power. Congratulations, you're now in shock mode, doing nothing, while your survival depends on doing something. So yeah, your ancestors tricked your DNA into thinking deer in headlights is a winning tactic. Meanwhile, deer in headlights get flattened. Evolution is drunk. Number 11. Water panic. You know how we're basically sacks of water walking around? You'd think our instincts would make us best friends with the stuff. Wrong. Drop a human in deep water, and unless they've been taught to swim, their body freaks out like someone dumped them into liquid lava. The natural instinct isn't a graceful doggy paddle. Nope, it's frantic thrashing, sucking in mouthfuls of water, and basically auditioning for world's least effective whirlpool. The survival instinct here is supposed to keep your head above water, but because your brain doesn't come with a how to float manual, you burn energy faster than a phone on 1% battery trying to find Wi-Fi. Ironically, if you just stopped panicking and floated like a dead fish, you'd survive way longer. But tell that to your lizard brain. It insists you fight the water like it's a physical enemy. Fun fact, babies actually have a reflex where they hold their breath underwater automatically. Then we grow up and our brain decides, nah, forget that skill, you'll never need it. Thanks, evolution. Basically, the survival instinct around water is like giving someone a parachute but sewing it shut. Technically, it's equipment. Practically, it's useless. Number 10. Pain lies to you. Pain is supposed to be the body's big red warning light. Stop what you're doing or you'll die. Except it's also a chronic liar. For example, phantom limb pain. People who lose a leg sometimes still feel their toes burning, itching, or cramping. That's your survival system trying to protect a body part that isn't even there. Thanks, brain. Or take a paper cut. The tiniest slice on your finger feels like someone tried to amputate your hand with a rusty sword. But because your fingertips are loaded with nerves, so the pain alarm gets cranked up to dramatic soap opera. Meanwhile, your body shrugs off way more dangerous things, like internal bleeding, because it doesn't always trigger pain signals right away. That means you can be in real danger but feel nothing until it's too late. Evolution designed pain to keep you cautious, but it overshot the mark. It's like hiring a security guard who screams at moths but takes a nap when burglars walk in. The system works, sort of, but only if you don't mind constant false alarms. Number 9. The Starvation Betrayal. When you stop eating, you'd expect your body to go full caveman mode, scrounging energy, sharpening focus, maybe giving you Hulk strength to hunt down a burger. But no. Instead, your survival instinct pulls a prank. After a while without food, your metabolism slows down, your brain gets foggy, and your muscles basically clock out. It's like your body says, okay, since there's no food, let's make sure you can't get food either. You get weak, dizzy, irritable, and all around useless. That might have worked when the hunt meant waiting by a bush for berries to ripen, but in modern life it just makes you wander around the kitchen like a zombie, opening the fridge every 10 minutes hoping food will magically spawn. Worse, your body hoards fat but happily burns muscle, which makes no sense at all. Why protect the squishy padding but sacrifice the machinery that could literally catch food? Imagine throwing away your fishing rod so you can save the styrofoam cooler. Smart, right? Basically, your survival instincts are the reason fasting feels less like unlocking primal power and more like my body turned into dial-up internet. Number 8. Tunnel vision trouble. You know that scene in movies where the hero is in danger and everything slows down so they can focus? Yeah, in real life your brain does that too, sort of. Under stress, adrenaline floods your system, and your vision narrows down like a camera zooming in. It's called perceptual tunneling. Sounds useful until you realize you stop noticing basically everything else. You're laser focused on the threat right in front of you, but that also means you could miss the fire exit sign, the oncoming second attacker, or the fact that your shoelace is untied. Your brain thinks, narrow focus equals survival, but what if the danger isn't directly in your field of view? Then you're just a stressed-out horse with blinders on. Police reports are full of this. Officers in firefights sometimes can't recall hearing their own gunshots or seeing anything except one tiny detail, like the suspect's hands. The survival instinct overprioritizes one input and ditches the rest, like trying to play chess while only staring at one square. So yes, tunnel vision might keep you locked onto the lion charging at you, but it also means you're going to completely miss the cliff right behind you. Thanks, evolution, for giving us a feature that works like a free trial with catastrophic bugs. Number 7. The fear of falling. Babies, fun fact, come with a built-in survival reflex. If you pretend to drop them, they flail like crazy. It's called the Moro reflex, and it's supposed to help them cling to their mother. Sounds good in theory. But here's the catch. That primal fear of falling never really leaves us. That's why roller coasters are terrifying, why your stomach drops in elevators, and why even standing near a balcony can make your legs feel like spaghetti. Your inner caveman is screaming, we are about to plummet to our doom, even if you're actually on a perfectly safe glass floor at a fancy skyscraper. The instinct makes zero adjustments for modern life. It doesn't matter that you're strapped in with state-of-the-art engineering, your brain still acts like you're dangling off a cliff with sweaty palms. And don't even get me started on sleep. Ever jerk awake from a dream because you felt like you were falling? That's your survival instinct doing jump scares for no reason. You were lying in bed. Gravity wasn't even involved. Basically, your fear of falling is less about protecting you and more about trolling you. Like, thanks, brain, I wasn't scared until you made me imagine death by faceplant at 2 a.m. Number 6. Overheating Meltdown. Your body has a thermostat. Sounds great, right? Except the thermostat was designed by someone who clearly never tested it. When you overheat, your survival instinct kicks in with two main tricks: sweating and blood rushing to the skin. Basically, your body turns you into a leaky tomato. Now, sweating could be genius. Evaporation cools you off. But if you're in a humid place, like a rainforest or, I don't know, literally anywhere without air conditioning, your sweat just sits there, mocking you. You're drenched, slippery, and dehydrated, but not actually cooler. Meanwhile, your blood vessels dilate so much that standing up too fast can make you faint. Imagine your body's response to overheating being, let's randomly faceplant so the predator can have an easier time. Excellent strategy. Even worse, the whole system panics easily. A minor fever? Your brain hits the boil alive button. Exercise a little too hard? Your internal thermostat decides you're about to spontaneously combust. Instead of efficiently managing heat, your survival instincts are like an old radiator, loud, inefficient, and constantly on the verge of exploding. So yes, overheating is dangerous, but your body's survival solution is often just as embarrassing. It's less sophisticated cooling system and more sweaty meltdown simulator. Number 5. Fight or flight fails. The fight or flight response is legendary. Adrenaline, racing heart, superhuman speed, the whole action movie montage. Sounds cool, but in practice? Your survival instinct is basically a clumsy intern with access to the panic button. Here's how it usually goes. Your brain thinks you're in danger, so it floods your system with adrenaline. Your muscles tighten, your heart pounds, your digestive system shuts down. Yes, it literally stops digestion because apparently you don't need tacos when escaping a bear. But the catch is your brain doesn't know the difference between grizzly bear and awkward Zoom presentation. So you end up sweaty, jittery, and wide-eyed over public speaking, or a mildly tense email, or because your crush accidentally brushed against your arm. Congratulations, your caveman survival mode just got triggered by a Gmail notification. Even in real emergencies, the system overshoots. People get shaky hands, tunnel vision, or the classic freeze instead of fight or flight. It's like being handed a superhero suit that randomly malfunctions mid-battle. Sure, adrenaline can help you lift a car off someone, but most of the time it just makes you feel like you chugged 6 energy drinks and forgot how to human. Basically, fight or flight is survival mode if it were designed by a chaotic gremlin, sometimes helpful, mostly embarrassing. Number 4. Thirst's terrible alarm. You'd think your survival system would be laser precise about something as crucial as water. But nope. The thirst mechanism is like a lazy roommate who only speaks up after the crisis has already started. By the time you feel really thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Here's the science. Your body loses water constantly, breathing, sweating, peeing, existing. Ideally, your brain should top you up before you hit empty. But instead, thirst kicks in late after your blood volume has already dropped enough to mess with blood pressure and brain performance. That's why even mild dehydration makes you feel foggy, tired, or cranky. You didn't even notice until your body was like, surprise. You're basically a raisin now. Even weirder, the thirst instinct can be tricked. Ever drink soda or beer and still feel thirsty afterward? That's because sugar, caffeine, or alcohol can mess with hydration signals. Your survival instinct doesn't care. It's like, liquid went in, job done. Meanwhile, your cells are screaming for actual water. So yeah, your thirst alarm is less like a reliable smoke detector and more like a fire alarm that only goes off when the house is already half burnt. Number 3. Painful childbirth. If survival instincts were truly flawless, childbirth wouldn't feel like getting your insides ripped out by an angry demon. Yet here we are. One of the most essential human processes is also one of the most dangerous and agonizing. Great design, evolution. 10 out of 10. Here's the breakdown. Human brains got bigger over time, which meant skulls got bigger too. Meanwhile, evolution decided not to widen the birth canal much because, apparently, walking upright was more important than painless delivery. The result? A survival instinct where giving life almost takes yours. Historically, childbirth was one of the leading causes of death for women, and even today, it's risky without medical help. To make things worse, the body's solution is hormones like oxytocin and endorphins, which basically say, hey, here's some pain-numbing chemicals so you don't totally hate this. Except they don't actually stop the pain, they just sprinkle a little sugar on top of the torture. Imagine handing someone sunglasses in a house fire and calling it protection. And then, after all that agony, your brain hits you with a cruel trick. It makes you forget the worst of it so you'll be willing to do it again. That's right. Your survival instincts literally gaslight you into repeating the process. So yeah, childbirth proves that our survival wiring is less optimized machine and more jury-rigged contraption held together with duct tape and wishful thinking. Number 2. Adrenaline overdose. Adrenaline is supposed to be your emergency turbo boost, your body's nitrous button. And sure, sometimes it works. You've heard the stories of people lifting cars or sprinting faster than ever. But most of the time, adrenaline is just chaos juice. When dumped into your system, it speeds up your heart, sharpens reflexes, and boosts blood sugar. Sounds great until you realize it also makes you shaky, nauseous, and unable to think clearly. Try doing delicate tasks, like unlocking your car or dialing 911, with adrenaline surging through you. Suddenly your survival boost is the reason you drop your phone 3 times while a serial killer is hypothetically chasing you. Even worse, adrenaline can cause tunnel vision, auditory exclusion, you literally stop hearing things, and memory gaps. Your body calls this helpful focus. In reality, it's like trying to solve a puzzle while high on espresso and blindfolded. Oh, and here's the kicker. adrenaline dumps can leave you totally drained afterward. The so-called adrenaline crash is like your body saying, okay, you survived, now here's a 3-hour coma. Which is perfect if you're safe at home, not so perfect if the danger isn't actually over. So yeah, adrenaline is the survival equivalent of duct taping a rocket to your back. Occasionally awesome, usually disastrous. Number 1. Overtrusting Instincts. Here's the ultimate flaw. Your survival instincts trick you into thinking they're reliable, when in reality they're messy, outdated, and occasionally sabotaging you. You feel fear in safe situations. You feel calm in dangerous ones. You crave junk food instead of actual nutrition. You panic when stillness would save you. It's like having a built-in life coach who's drunk half the time. The truth is, instincts evolved for environments we don't live in anymore. Saber-toothed tigers? Gone. Freshwater streams and daily foraging? Rare. Modern threats are things like traffic, stress, social anxiety, or Netflix autoplay stealing your sleep. Your instincts didn't get the memo, so they keep hitting you with obsolete reactions. And yet, we still rely on them. Sometimes they work. Sometimes that gut feeling really does save you. But most of the time, you've got to outsmart your own survival system. Learn to breathe through panic, drink water before you're thirsty, float instead of thrash, and maybe don't trust your caveman brain to handle PowerPoint presentations. Because honestly, survival instincts aren't a flawless safety net. They're more like an ancient, buggy app running on outdated hardware. And if you want to survive today's world, you've got to update the software yourself. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.